With that, City Council reports. Councilmember Buckland. You haven't done anything, have you?
Actually, it's been kind of slow, so. Went to the Gallagher Nielsen Fix Our Levees rally that was attended by some nearly, 200, 250 individuals. Mike was there. Well attended. It was fairly warm, and I think the message is out and was beneficial in moving forward some projects down in Sacramento. I think the voice of this community is heard in Sacramento. It is certainly a wise voice, and it's a voice that won't go away if there is continued neglect towards some of the infrastructure needs that we have here. So that was a great event. Also attended the Sutter Animal Services Authority meeting and adopted basically this next year's budget moving forward. Just a couple of amendments to how the line items will show, but we did adopt that budget. I missed a homeless consortium meeting, but I'm sure that Councilmember Cardoza will catch everybody up to date on what occurred in that meeting. The 4th of July party, a parade party. It was all a big party. I do want to say thank you to our Aero Squadron locally for the overhead air support in trying to quash some of the aerial display early in the 4th of July period. They started flying on the 1st and I think flew through the 4th. But the parade itself down in the town center was absolutely incredible. I think it was probably the largest so far over the course of years that it has been going on. It's so much fun to see the little kids, the bicycles, and everything else. And when you're done at 10:31 in the morning, have a hot dog prepared by the firemen. Nothing better on 4th of July than to be part of a great community. I'll leave my comments unsaid tonight on the aerial displays of fireworks. With this exception, really, up to the 8th of July, folks, the 4th of July is one day. It's one day. It's illegal to torch off anything in the air in the state of California. It's not a local law, it's state law. But doing it on the 8th is absolutely the most inconsiderate act that can occur within a neighborhood. All I can say is we will catch you next year.
Councilmember Cardoza.
Okay, folks, it's been a long month. We didn't have a meeting 2 weeks ago, so I'll be quick.
No, you won't.
It's a long list. We'll start with meetings. Attended the school district liaison meeting. Thank you. LAFCO, Economic Development Commission, Planning Commission, Sunderland Animal Services Authority, Regional Leadership Team for the Homeless Consortium, Regional Housing Authority, Gilsizer Drainage, the Sutter Beach Flood Control Agency, and the 2nd Street Property Owners Meeting. Chamber events, Business Connection Breakfast, attended ribbon cuttings for Pete's Restaurant and Brew House and for the Yuba Sutter Arts Center, and also I attended the monthly ambassadors meeting. For community events, I was with council for a rally for the levee funding repairs. Attended the summer at City Hall. Attended the mock council meeting and graduation ceremony. Also had lunch and dinner with the students. So that was wonderful. Seeing the youth today and probably being our bosses here in the future. I was there for the 5th Street Bridge bid opening, the annual 4th of July parade with council. I stopped by Goshen Aquatic Park to thank Joe for the donation for the day. Shook his hand and said thank you very much for that, for the wonderful event. There was a lot of people there, a lot. I attended a retirement party with the mayor for Ben Grossner, Fire Department, with over 25 years of service. Attended UBC Downtown Association's annual meeting, also with the mayor for the new board of officers installation. Community outreach meeting hosted by Sutter County Supervisor Matt Connick at Shanghai Bin Park. That was a very fun evening. I'm glad that it was Matt instead of me. It was very exciting. Attended the first Thursday night downtown Plymouth Street, the Peach Bowl Dawn Breakers Toastmasters Club. I was invited and attended the 5-year anniversary summer barbecue for the Rinson family and friends. I worked the fireworks booth for our Peach Bowl Lions Club. I have just been elected newly president of the Peach Bowl Lions Club for 2017-18. Something else for me to do. I attended the 14 Forward 1-year anniversary celebration last week. That was a great event, their 1-year anniversary. It was a very good turnout and got to see what the houses were, what the folks live in. It's very clean, very good place. Marysville, Yuba County is doing a great job, and hopefully we'll follow in their footsteps. I attended the Marysville Peach Festival this weekend. Happened to get in the peach pie eating contest with the council member of Marysville. Council member from Elk Grove showed up, and myself and 3 others, and I was lucky enough to win the pie competition, but paid for it a few hours later. I served breakfast and lunch for the Yuba City School District, their summer meals for children, Kids Eat Free program. And I would like to thank Karen Leno. She's a student nutrition area supervisor for running this program, and her staff. I attended several schools. There are quite a few schools. We fed a minimum of 20 and as many as over 150 free lunches for the summer. This program's still going. Kids only get good lunches and breakfast during the school year. The school district continued this on for the summer. So all you have to do between 0 and 18, just come in, no questions asked. They'll feed you breakfast and lunch. I just want to thank all the schools that I attended with the staff there, the employees and stuff that helped me. I was at AK, April Lane, the Children's Center, Butte Vista, King Avenue, Lincoln, Lindcrest, Park Avenue, Riverbend Elementary, and Yuba City High School. And then on July 13th, we had a great time. We celebrated my mother's 84th birthday with friends and family. And then very last of all for tonight, I would like to thank the administrative staff and all the employees, the city employees who take care of council and the citizens of Yuba City. We can't say thank you enough for their hard work that they do for us and to make us look good. I have every Monday morning or twice a week, I'll go in and see Steve and say, hey, Steve, I got another wish list. And Steve and staff and our employees take very good care of us. And I want to just thank them for making us look good and keeping all you folks happy. Anyway, that's it for me.
Councilmember Harris.
Thank you. Pretty light for the last since our last meeting on I had the opportunity this time of year to take a vacation and spend some time in Las Vegas and southern Utah, which was very beautiful and fun. Enjoy that. Also enjoyed a week around 4th of July. Went out to Dias Air Force Base in Abilene, Texas, to spend it with my son and my 2 grandkids. So it was. It's kind of nice to have a barbecue in the back porch in Air Force Base on the 4th of July. It was kind of really Americana. It was nice to. It was very enjoyable. So.
Was there stuff in the air there too?
Plenty of stuff in the air. Believe me, in Texas.
It's legal there.
It's illegal. BMLC, a Beale Military Liaison Committee. That's went to 2 change of command ceremonies out there in Beale, like I mentioned last time. Very. Nice, very tasteful. They do them often, but it's nice to meet the new folks out there in charge and to see them firsthand and the way they run their operation out there. Very smooth, very impressive, and it's was a good time. Always is. I attended United Way board meeting. We were working on a few projects out there for that program. Again, my other committees and whatnot, because of vacation, I was light on attendance, and some of the stuff was I think Manny filled in for me on the SASA meeting. Attended a Gil Sizer district meeting, which I think was record time short. Thank you for
4
that,
minutes.
sir. 4 minutes?
4 minutes.
You got me out of work for about a half hour.
We had to deal with.
Yeah. And then ribbon cutting at Yuba Sutter Arts. Not as an official part of my role here as council, but they asked me to be a city representative of Yuba Sutter Arts Commission, which is quite enjoyable. They do a really good job over there, and they add some nice things to our community, a very big variety of different things. They're even going to paint utility boxes and a few other things just to add a little beauty out there and an aesthetic effort. So we went to the they call the Umbrella Sky event and the Citizen Artist event, and they raised a little money and got to see a lot of people out there, and we just come together for the good of our community, so it's always enjoyable. So that's pretty much it for me for now.
Okay, thank you very
bet.
much. And Vice Mayor Didball.
Great. Light for me as well. A couple of things. June 22nd was the graduation of our Summer at City Hall students. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it to the graduation due to a conflict with a last-minute project that came up, but joined the students the following day to take them out to the Capitol and go out to the governor's office and kind of put the whole program to an end there. The feedback that we've gotten from the students thus far is that another great experience for the second year, so we're looking to continue the program next year and continue to build on it. So very excited about that. The children's parade was phenomenal to see all the little tricycles and all the colors, and not only the hot dog, but the cookie was an enjoyment at the end too. I have the sweet tooth, sorry. So I joined the kids with the cookies. 4th of July, again, I just felt like I was in the middle of just bombs going off around my area, enjoying the evening with my family, and then all of a sudden get bombarded with things coming down in my backyard as well, and still have remnants in my backyard from those situations. So hopefully next year we will catch more and keep working on something to make it a better, quieter, and more enjoyable 4th of July next year. I did have the honor to attend the American Red Cross 100-year celebration and honored some amazing people that continue to serve our community and put in hours of community service and not ask anything back. These folks offered food during the evacuation. There was 1,900 pounds of food within 2 hours delivered to Sutter when that evacuation happened. And all of that happened just behind the scenes with one phone call and just a bunch of folks through the American Red Cross who continue to reach out to the food banks and within 2 hours had food delivered out there, along with mosquito wipes, also sprays, also crates for the animals to be protected. So there were 4 large crates that were donated by community. Met with Butte County Sheriff as well. He was actually the MC for that event, and what a wonderful gentleman. And great sense of humor, too, under the circumstances as he was honoring several people who helped. As we celebrated tonight, some of the folks that did such wonderful work here with saving 2 lives. There were people that were honored that with the American Red Cross, and one was one of the officers actually saved a 3-year-old. And she was there at the event, who was still wearing a neck brace, but she was so attached to the officer. And what was really beautiful about that event is he got awarded his certificate, and he turned around and he handed it to the little girl, and she gave him a big hug, and she's running around the stage, and it was just they had that connection with each other. So anyway, it was a great event, and I was really glad that I could be there. So other than that, it was pretty light, just vacation time and taking some more time off next month. So looking forward to that.
Thank you. Well, for me, it's never light. Life isn't light, and I know what you're referring to, everyone. But life is extremely busy, but for me, it was my main meetings were Regional Water Authority, and the state continues to legislators at the pressure of our governor continue to take local decision making away from us on our water issues. We're trying to avoid one size fits all, big city to little town to hamlets or whatever. And our governor just is, and the legislators are just bent on having 100% control of our water from the time it comes out of the sky to its evaporation or going out to the ocean. So we're having some challenges, some successes, but then unfortunately they can completely change that right at the last second until it's voted on and signed by the governor. So we're at their mercy, unfortunately. So it'll be Flood Control Agency. Some of the efforts we're doing to try to get the emergency money for the 3 miles of Yuba City. The attempt for that meeting that we had, like you said, up on the levee, it was noticed. We're supposedly, you don't count your chickens before you hatch, as people say. But it's been designated as to a total of about $30 million to get that redone. But the permits to do that for this year have been very difficult to get from the Corps of Engineers. So the state of California did get on board with it. The night before we actually went up there onto the levee, they made a decision that they would support us on it, politics. And so that's a great thing. Gil Sizer, we just had to attend to some personnel and issues there that were actually a positive one. The Liberty, 4th of July Liberty Parade, Children's Parade was absolutely a blast. Some of those outfits and decked out that they were, it was great. And 1,000 hot dogs disappeared quite quickly. There was 800 last year, 1,000 this year, and they're talking 1,200 next year they're going to try to have. And, of course, lots of cookies, lots of water. A beautiful local, is it symphony, or what do they call it? Symphony group. It was excellent music that was played. Some of the old Sousa numbers of the old marches and stuff that were played, and then some kids singing. It was fantastic. The only thing the fireworks event that we had around town, we have one gigantic fireworks display around here, and it's in almost every neighborhood. There was some positive on that. There were some neighborhoods that actually seemed to have gotten the message, and it was much less this year in certain neighborhoods. So there was note taken as to the worst neighborhoods that will be focused on next year. I spent, yours is one of them. 8 days I spent as a co-chair in a fireworks booth. So if anybody has ever wanted to find out what heat is and trying to keep yourself cooled down and stuff, that's one of the ones if you ever want to experience it. I've been doing that now over 22 years, and I'm ready to retire from it. Other than that, just a busy life. Business is good. As you see, our community is growing in its retail and some commercial. Businesses are expanding and much more to come. And a lot of it is due to the policy changes and improvements of things that this council and previous councils have done, laying the groundwork. And then not just sitting around. We're saying, no, let's support it. Let's get out in the community. Talk to the developers, talk to the business people, and tell them that we'll work with them to help them get expanded. And it's been, as you see, there's measurable results of that. And we are going to be working very hard to make sure it continues for the next few years. And with that, if staff has nothing else, meeting adjourned.